I'm starting my shift today not on a good note. Tributes continue to pour in for the late former Bafana Bafana coach Clive Barker. The dog, as Barker was affectionately known, passed away earlier today after a long illness. Now, Barker was 78 and he will be remembered for leading South Africa to the Africa Cup of Nations glory in 1996. Joining us via Zoom is former Bafana Bafana goalkeeper Steve Crowley. Steve, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. I must say, this morning when I woke up, we all do this thing, we pick up our phone and we play around on social media, and I saw all of this news about the late coach. My heart literally sank. I couldn't believe it. It's a sad day for South African football. How would you remember Clive?
Yeah, as you say, very, very sad day for the footballing fraternity, particularly the fellow players, class fellow players, and those that were coached by him in his era, during his era. He was, in my opinion, a great motivator. Personally, that was his best strength. For us as players who were motivated ourselves, his motivation and little talks that he would give before the game just spurred us on that little bit more, to give that little bit more for the team during the course of the 90 minutes on the field. Again, very sad loss. Condolences and strength to his family, certainly, for having to have just seen his illness and this long illness over the last couple of months, and to have to endure that. So strength to them going forward.
Definitely. Steve, with you saying that he was a great motivator, I think great leaders actually come with that attribute. They tend to be great motivators. So what kind of a coach was he, other than being a great motivator? From a distance, he seemed to be quite, jovial and fun to work with.
Precisely that. There were times when he'd have to raise his voice, but, that was very seldom. I think he had an air of respect from players, and media and everybody involved with the game alike. He was a character, second to none. Great chap to work with on and off the field. As you say, always jovial around during the camp and at the dinner table, after a good day's training in preparation for the games, and was really just part of the one of the boys, so to speak, with the respect still intact though, but one of the boys, he could always mingle well with everybody, and that gave the unity amongst the team, in my opinion.
So, Steve, what do you think SAFA should do to honour him? And I ask that question because, very often this is what happens. We've got someone who's a legend who passes away, and then that particular sporting code, and actually sport as a whole, we end up being quite shocked. I mean, I think I remember a time where I did weekend after weekend interviews regarding boxing stars who had gone and passed away, and every single weekend we were hearing all these great things about them, but when we looked at boxing, there actually wasn't much that was being done to actually, praise this person whilst they were still here, whilst they're still alive. So what do you think SAFA needs to do to honour him and honour his legacy?
Look, I agree that arguably he wasn't recognised for his achievements, particularly winning the 96 AFCON. But things he's done before that, perhaps in his playing days, and even the mentorships that he's given to many players and coaches alike. Again, it's never too late, and perhaps should have been done earlier. But SAFA should definitely do something constructive and in recognition of a career well done, and achievements. That, again, perhaps the 96 AFCON win hasn't been replicated yet. He's created a legacy that needs to be recognized within the footballing fraternity of this country, and let's hope Bafana can rise to the occasion in future, and let's get some trophies under the belt again.
Steve, very quickly before you go, when you speak about 1996 and the AFCON not being replicated, there's also an entire era of players there that were absolutely phenomenal. We speak about them to this day, and it's almost like we don't see that level and quality of players any longer. What do you think set the coach apart from what he was doing that other coaches were not doing for him to, also develop those types of players?
Perhaps it was a different era of football. We certainly played. I'm not saying it doesn't happen now, but we played for the love of the game. We kind of played for relative pittance in terms of remuneration, but we were there because we wanted to be, and we just loved the game. Again, not taking away anything from the current crop of players in terms of their attitudes towards the game. But it was just a different era, a different mentality towards the game. The game has changed over the years. That was nearly 3 decades ago now, and the game has obviously developed and taken different directions financially and otherwise. We could just all, we were all from the same era. Clive having been quite close to us as players, and always managed to get the best out of us.
Steve, thank you so much for that. We're going to have to leave it there for now. That's former Bafana Bafana goalkeeper Steve Crowley chatting to us a bit about the late coach Clive Barker, who sadly passed away following a long illness that he suffered.